He's the type of guy who says this right now, and then he'll play 2K and call everything bullshit about the game.
That's
You
bullshit.
can pick
That's
up.
bullshit.
You're gonna be listening to these frequencies that they give
true.
you, you know. And there's these guys sitting in studios working on frequencies that make you think different.
What's going on in the world? If you could just go home every day after your job and go live in the world that you want to live in, why would you give a fuck what's going on out there?
So we're all here. We're starting to check out this fight. Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia. I'm here with Jay Buddha,
Hey, yo.
Mr. Marucci,
Yo.
Mr. Trey,
Yo.
and Mr. T.
Yo.
And it's me, Big Mike the Don. So,
Hold on. So wait, why are all of us Mr. this and Mr. that, but then you could just be Big Mike?
Yeah.
all right, let me
I better say Mr. Big Mike the Don.
Exactly.
let me
Nah,
rephrase
come on,
it,
man.
Mr. Big Mike the Don.
That's a little bit better.
So
It
everybody,
didn't feel authentic.
just to
though,
let you know,
I'll
the
settle for it.
situation we started here is, you know, we're playing musical chairs because we got a TV on. The TV's not in an ideal location to watch it. So everybody doesn't want to pull it up on their phones for some odd reason. I mean, I guess they're scared the government's
All
going
right,
to watch
yo,
them.
hold up. Who's gonna win this fight?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who's gonna win this
just
fight? Nobody's
saying.
talking about nothing about the
It's on the
government.
TV right in front of me.
Who passed Big Mike?
Yeah, Big Mike don't
He
smoke.
got that second hand.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should. I feel like you functioned way better when you smoked,
So who's gonna bag
and
this fight?
that's a big statement to make. Trey knows that.
Yeah, well,
I got my
I don't
money on
smoke.
Aerosmith.
Oh, okay.
Aerosmith. Hold
Aerosmith.
up. Aerosmith.
Errol Spence.
Steven Tyler's about to fight.
Yo, imagine that.
He
dude.
remixed the shit.
It's gonna
out
be a
of
good
it.
pretty
fight,
sure-
though.
I'm
They're
pretty-
both knockout artists. So
Oh yeah, I don't know much about this.
I saw the stats before the match. You know, they both have 21 knockouts each. So
Well,
Yeah,
Errol,
but how many times has Errol Spence lost? This dude-
never.
26
He's
and 0.
undefeated. I actually, when I went to Texas for training for my job, I was with a guy who was a boxer in Las Vegas, and he actually used to spar with Errol Spence all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you say about him?
He said that he's nice. Like he said, "Oh, I was nice," you know. But everyone says they're nice.
So this guy right here, Errol Spence, he's good. He's done what he's done. Now he's trying to make that household name for himself by fighting Danny Garcia. Is that what's happening?
21 knockouts.
Like, or is this guy already known?
I'm
Like,
not
is
gonna
he
lie
already-
and act like I know everything about this guy, but I did watch a couple fights with him, and he's very technical. He's super technical the way he fights. He's
Bro,
really
nah,
good.
He's good, bro. He's a good boxer. He got that perfect blend of the old school and the new school.
I like how they're staying within range and not know. Listen, I respect Floyd Mayweather to the fullest, but like, we all know how different this fight would look if it was Floyd in that
He's a
ring.
defensive fighter.
Not to say he can't do it. I know
Floyd
what he
is
could
very
do,
defensive.
but he's solely defensive. This guy's throwing punches, which I respect.
That's what I'm
so.
saying. You got a good mix of the old school. And
they look both composed right now. It's gonna be a long battle. I feel like.
Oh yeah, they got to feel each other out. Nobody wants to get knocked out by the other person.
I don't think anyone's gonna get knocked out in this one though.
Yeah,
This-
so
I think this will go 12.
26 and 0,
I just want to see a
21
good fight.
knockouts, and Garcia is
I mean, after last week,
36 and 2.
good boxing would be a good thing right
Same
now.
knockouts.
Same
21.
amount of knockouts.
Yeah, you're right. Good
But
boxing
look,
would be.
they got the same knockouts, but Spence did it in a higher percentage. With
Yeah,
what?
but-
12
but-
less fights?
Yeah, but you got to think about who he's fighting too. If a guy like Danny Garcia had more popularity and blew up quicker, he's going to fight a bigger name than this guy is. Because I don't even
Spence
know who
is
this guy
big
is.
too, bro. Nah, he
Well, I
had
never
plenty
heard
of
him. I knew who
main
Danny
events.
Garcia was.
No, Errol Spence
Obviously, he's
got
got
a
to
big
have
name to
some
him.
kind of name, but
Where you from?
Las Vegas.
they're in Las Vegas. But
Nah,
Danny Garcia
Spence
is
is-
from.
Oh no, he's from Houston. He's from
Garcia's
Houston,
from Philly.
Yeah.
Danny Garcia is from Philly, North
Spence
Philadelphia.
from Dallas.
Dallas.
Born in-
I
Dallas,
mean, there's
that's
some
it.
people in the crowd right now. So, are they in Texas right
Oh
now?
wow, I didn't even notice that.
They're
That's
in
the
it.
first time I've seen that in a long
I
time.
think it's Cali.
No way.
No, definitely not Cali.
No, California
Definitely
has
not
strict
Cali.
right
Shit.
now. They're
Yeah,
super
no.
strict. Yeah.
They're in a state that says "fuck COVID."
That
That's
sounds like
the-
a Texas.
Yeah, that sounds like a Texas
something
thing.
of that sort.
The Cowboys were the
I don't
first
know.
ones I
Someone
feel
look
like have
that up.
fans. They're probably in Vegas.
Google that shit.
Yeah,
I feel like Vegas would do that.
Looking it up.
I love Google so much.
It's taking place at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium right now. So.
Oh shit, that's where I believe he fought when I was in Texas, and I watched the fight at this restaurant. I forget the name of the
Hey, I
restaurant.
want to say, hold up. You went to Texas?
Oh my god,
AT&T
that's crazy.
Stadium, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. That's where they're at right now.
Yeah, I was in Texas
Damn,
for
that's crazy.
2 weeks.
What
That's
were you
what's
doing in
up.
there? Was that for HVAC again?
Yeah, that was for HVAC, man.
What did you do? Where did you go in Texas? You said you rode a one of those mechanical bulls.
I
did?
never said that.
I thought you did.
Never in my life. I don't
So
know
what did you
guys
say
come up-
exciting?
Did you
about
ride a
going out
horse?
there?
I feel like you guys just come up with crazy stories about
Yeah.
me. It's
So
great.
what did you do in Texas?
Did you ride a horse?
I went to school and I did, I went to a bar.
All right, boring stuff. Let's
Yeah,
talk about the
boring
good
stuff.
stuff. You didn't
Yeah.
do anything cool in Texas.
But did you ride a horse?
No, I didn't ride no goddamn horse.
Dude, can you imagine? Big
It was
Mike on a
not that
horse, bro?
fun. I met some people. I met the guy who boxed with fucking Spence. That was cool. I went to school.
So you were out there
School's
for how
cool.
long? Like
Did
2
you
weeks?
go to a Mavericks game?
No, I didn't go to a Mavericks game
Why?
because I don't even think basketball was in session when I went. I went in March.
Oh, when COVID started?
No, this was. Oh my god!
It was a
All right,
couple
all
years
right,
ago,
all right.
couple
Now,
years
I'll pull the
Now,
wild card
this
out.
is-
Oh, yeah, I feel bad. Why y'all ganging up on him, yo?
right,
I'm just asking some
right.
questions.
Mr. Marucci knows where it's at.
Get
man.
back on the
Oh,
top.
listen, I ain't ganging up on Big Mike. All I want to know is what the fuck did he do out there that was cool and we're talking about. I want to hear about Texas. What did you
Let's
see
see
in
what's
Texas?
cool. All
How
right.
is Texas
'Cause
different
none of
from
us
New
been to
Jersey?
Texas.
The only
How is
thing-
Texas
You
different
got
from
the
Jersey?
experience.
That's all I know is
Tell
Jersey.
us what it was like.
The only thing I'll tell you was cool in Texas. The coolest thing in Texas, because I really didn't do many cool things. But the coolest fucking thing was when I got back from school. I was in school from like 7 to like 4. When I got back, they had free beers at the hotel, unlimited. And they brought them shits out by the fucking cooler. Like a big ass cooler. They were bringing them shits out.
Cooler.
Right. So I was
cool.
going back to my room stumbling a
not
little
bad.
bit. But I still got all my work
Stumbling
done.
and
So it was a
I mean, that's
memorable
cool,
experience.
but that's your job. Like, what's cool about Texas, bro?
Well, they don't know anything about pork roll.
That's
say that.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. I taught a
Is
lot
it-
of people about pork
Is it
roll.
pork roll or is it
Damn,
is
that's
it Taylor
crazy.
ham? Like, let's be real. I'm gonna say it's pork roll, and nobody can tell me fucking different. But now T is from Jersey City, and if I'm correct, a lot of people in that area call it Taylor ham. Am I telling the truth?
That's true. That's facts.
What do you call it?
Right now, I mean, they're both the same thing, so we call it either or. Pork roll,
Oh, what
Taylor
a
ham.
politician.
All right, but
Well,
if we're in a debate, we're in a heated debate. And,
I think
and
it's
you had-
pork roll.
All right, and you had
Thank
to,
you.
you had
I
to-
think it's pork roll.
Okay.
Yeah, because Taylor ham. Well, I mean, pork and ham is two different
It's the
things.
brand,
Right?
it's the
Actually,
brand.
nah, it's the same thing.
but it's the brand
I mean,
though. It's the brand. Taylor ham is the brand.
Can we
what
pause?
are they selling?
Can
It's
we
too
pause?
long.
It's to order.
Can we pause? He just said pork and ham are two different things.
Nah, it's the same thing. They're both
Yeah.
pork.
But
No, they are.
Yeah,
different.
Yeah,
they come
we
from
are.
different. They come from different parts. They come from different parts. Ham don't taste the same as pork.
I mean, I've been to New Hampshire before,
Where's pork from the? Pork?
and they call it Taylor ham up there.
I don't know.
They call
I
it
don't
Taylor
know.
ham. Canadians, it's a Canadian thing.
Bro,
What's
pork,
Canadian?
Taylor
pork is
ham.
just like the
Is it
more
really?
general
Yeah, so that's
term.
why
What's the
the-
name of the brand though? Hold up.
So I think it's a Canadian thing. So I mean, the farther you go north, they're going to call it Taylor ham.
Yeah, but a Canadian's not going to argue with you about Taylor ham or pork roll. They're
I mean,
too
they're
nice
probably,
to
they're
argue.
probably going to call it Taylor ham, and you're going to say, "Oh no, it's pork roll."
Where?
Okay, mate.
Yo,
That's Australian, but okay.
Hold up. Taylor ham. I'm gonna look this up right now. Taylor
I'm glad
ham.
you caught
Look,
that,
it's a
bro.
it's a brand. Taylor. It's
Taylor
Taylor
ham.
ham. It's a brand. Pork roll is the product you're getting. You know what I mean?
Can I get a Taylor ham? Salt, pepper, ketchup.
yo, all right. Either way, fuck Taylor
Toasted
ham and
papi.
pork roll.
You said pork
We
roll?
got a fight
Nah,
going on
papi,
right
Taylor
now.
ham.
Errol Spence is looking really good right now.
Errol Spence?
Look, he got him in a headlock.
Oh, yeah, we ain't even talking about the damn fight.
bro.
Spence.
It's supposed to be a fight podcast.
I love how Trey is just stealing people's microphones. He's just a microphone hogger. Look, he's just grabbing Marucci's
Just
microphone.
bouncing back and forth, bro.
All right, let's see. Oh, look, he went
Okay,
back.
I'll
Oh,
take
he's
this
back.
one, okay?
Oh, Jesus. He's getting drunk. This is when Donald Trump pops out.
Oh, you seen that? You seen that? Something happened. Oh shit! Scorpion.
It comes out during the election.
He pulled that up in 2 microphones now. Either way.
So I shouldn't go to Texas.
I would move to Texas.
I'd probably get
You would move.
deported.
Why would you move to Texas?
Bro, you
Is it
said
bec- is it
you
bec-
barely did anything cool, but
No,
you'll move to
but
Texas.
I would move to Texas
Oh, there's a
because
secret
I
going
feel
on.
like
There's something in there.
no. I feel like
never said what he did.
I'm not. Nothing was cool out there. I went
You
to
said
a.
one thing was
I'll
cool.
tell you the food, the barbecue food out there is.
he
What's your bet? What's the best thing you ate out there?
I had some brisket.
Brisket.
Oh,
I've never
baby.
had brisket before.
I love. I mean, never had brisket.
Damn,
before?
that's
Brisket?
crazy.
No.
Bro, you never
What
had
exactly is
brisket?
it? It's pork.
Like pulled pork.
No,
Nah,
it's
it's,
beef.
it's a good.
It's
no,
beef.
It's beef.
beef.
Okay.
Damn.
It's a good
I ain't-
thick slice.
Tender.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. That shit fucking bomb. That shit like
Depends on how
shreds
you
up
cook
too.
it, though. Depends on how
Yeah.
you cook it.
You gotta slow cook
How
it.
would you cook it, T?
I mean, you could either smoke it or you can just cook it in the oven and like,
Wait,
over
isn't that
time.
pernil?
What's the?
I think that's what.
No.
Why is
yeah,
everything-
Pernil is pork.
This motherfucker.
Puerto Rican as shit.
Yeah, so it's
Hold
yeah.
up.
The
If we're
two-
talking about anything I want from a pig,
So, like-
it could be bacon, it could be ham. Pernil is number one, bro. I want
So, like,
pernil
shredded-
every day of my life.
Yo,
Shredded, yeah.
brisket. I think might be the shoulder too.
Well, it's
I'm
What?
not sure.
all right. Like shredded beef is probably gonna be a brisket. You know,
Well, look, we have a knockdown, guys.
I don't know. It looked like he made a trip.
I don't
Nobody made a
know.
big deal
He's
about
tying his shoes. He's tying his
She was
shoes.
tying his shoes.
I mean, but
Are we?
pernil is
Are
good.
we gonna see
I
a
like
Nate?
it. Yeah,
the
yeah,
best. But
Are
you
we
know
gonna
what?
see
What
a
do you
Nate
eat?
Robinson today?
All right. If we in pernil, what kind of rice are you having?
Con
with-
gandules.
Every
He didn't even have to
day,
finish that
every
shit.
day.
My mind already.
Rice and
sucks.
gandules
Every day.
is
All right,
good. I don't
chuleta.
smoke-
If we got chuletas, what are we eating chuletas with?
White rice.
It could go either way.
These
You,
guys.
you can't have it with right. What's your personal
With
preference?
chuletas?
Yeah.
Yeah, white rice with like kidney beans, the pink beans.
Okay, see, for
Time
me,
out.
chuleta, I like arroz con salchicha.
Oh
My
shit.
shit. You know, Vienna sausage. I know everybody thinks Vienna sausage is nasty. I talk to all my white friends, and they're like, "Oh, Vienna sausage is disgusting." I'm like,
I love that
listen,
shit.
listen, you gotta put in some rice.
Fuck
You know
with
what I
the
mean? You gotta do it our way, and you'll see where we're coming
I
from.
saw how you
won't
did it.
catch me eating the fucking Vienna sausage straight out the fucking can. Like,
No,
this
I
is
saw how you
great.
did
No.
it, and I did it, and that shit was bomb as shit.
But
And
you
I
didn't
would
put enough water in your shit. You said your shit was
No, the first time I did it was perfect. The second time I did it, that shit tasted like sand. That was terrible.
But I feel like you're Puerto Rican, bro. Like you're Italian, but you're Puerto Rican.
Sometimes.
I
Only
guess you could
sometimes.
turn it on and off.
I do. It's like a switch, bro. Sometimes I just be walking out and be like, "Yeah, my name Grande Miguel."
Grande Miguel. My
Yo,
dad
I'm a-
gave you that nickname.
That's right. Yo, I'm también Grande Miguel.
Grande Miguel. And whenever I hear Grande Miguel, I just picture Big Mike with a big giant Mexican hat on his head. I don't know why. Every time.
With some maracas and shit.
Hell
They're
yeah.
going in right now.
It could
You
be
ever
an
see
extra
Big
at
Mike?
Starbucks too. You know,
Who works at Starbucks?
no, like grande.
Grande Miguel.
it's gonna be a good drink.
Oh, the Grande Miguel. Loaded with fucking sweetener and
Extra espresso.
extra espresso. That's right. Cause I'm a hype. I'm hyped.
Yeah, hype it
sometimes.
up.
Extra
you know?
salty too.
Like 4 espresso
no.
shots
Extra
and
salty.
with some cream and some sugar. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I'm salty.
No, you're salty. You're salty sometimes.
I think
You're reasonable,
Yeah.
but you're salty. So if you feel that you're being reasonable and you're gonna be salty, you're gonna be salty because you feel you're reasonable. If that makes any sense.
Yo, can I
Does
just
that
take
make
the
sense?
time out to say, of course, it goes on commercial, and I was about to say it.
No, you can still
just
say, what
say
you
it.
want.
I'll still say it. Can we just say how the ref is wearing a mask, but it's like covering from the bottom lip down?
But what's he supposed to do? He's gonna keep grabbing his mask in the middle of the mask and put it up. That's a
But why does he
distraction.
have it on there? Period.
Political reasons,
because
bro.
every time he
They're
gets
in
6 feet
Texas.
within them, within the
They
fighters, you
don't
gotta put
believe
it
in
up.
COVID.
Fashion statement.
I
Same
want
thing
to
with
get into
Florida,
that
too,
topic.
you know?
I really do.
Texas and Florida, they don't believe in it.
I want.
Yeah,
What
I
topic?
The COVID
I want to get into what my boys, because we really haven't really had that even deep conversation even off of this thing.
Because we already know we're all on at least the most.
Well, you don't know
generalist
that. You don't know
page.
that.
All right. Well, I want to see where Big Mike is going.
Yeah.
with
Well, I
this,
wanna
'cause
go-
this shit sounds crazy.
Yeah,
What
go ahead.
do you feel about the virus? How do you think? My main
you're a
question-
little bit late on this. Me and T have had about 20 different conversations on 20 different nights.
It's been happening
yeah.
since February.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, absolutely. So no, we've definitely communicated about this, and what kind of answer are you looking on that? I mean, like, what do we feel it's real, or do we feel like it's
real. It's real.
It's real, of course.
Just
But, like,
basically
what do you
how-
wanna know?
How you feel?
How do you
period.
feel about it? Do you feel okay? So mainly is, do you feel like it is a real life threatening thing right now, or do you feel it's politicized? What is your feeling?
I think it's threatening to civilizations. I think it's threatening to our normality that we're so adjusted to, that people are always feeling that they're so safe in their little bubble, and then when something goes wrong, something like this happens, everybody is so quick to follow orders and you know what I mean, and then you have the people who, like I was saying before, who are in their own state of mind where they feel they're untouchable because we haven't been at war in our country. We've been to other countries, but it's never been here in our main land. Yeah, we've had attacks in Hawaii, but never here directly. So people aren't, you know what I mean? They feel untouchable. So it goes totally opposite ways. People are being super conservative, and then some people are just like, you know what I mean?
They don't believe in it. You know, it comes down to, when you think about it, just like it's just something that can be politicized. You know, like when the sickness comes around, or a virus, like I remember the bird flu when I was young, the avian bird flu. There was news outlets reporting about it, but there was never a shutdown. You know, because it was always stopped before it got here. Now this virus is like literally the first virus that went worldwide pandemic, and it's actually affected the United States.
And we're wearing masks and living so different.
But the flu back when Barack Obama, I forgot what it was, but
The bird flu.
There was
no, the swine flu.
there was
Swine
something
flu,
that
correct.
affected it affected Americans, but it wasn't politicized this way, you know.
Yeah.
And I felt like with the election coming up, like if this happened with a president that was liked, like from both sides, like this would be nothing. But the fact that Donald Trump was president, they made it something, you know. And now it made states see like the power is within your own state, you know. Like,
Yeah, well, that's
at the end of the day,
yeah.
yeah. Like Donald Trump had no control over this. Like it came down to what governors did what. Like Texas can have people go out to bars. Florida can have people go out to bars, but in New Jersey, you're not allowed to go to a bar and drink out a bar. You know, like that's.
But that's the
This is the first time.
That's the political thing I was talking about. If we feel like, I feel like all of you do agree that this thing has been politicized so much right now.
But before you drift off, I don't think you're going to drift off. But if you do, just in case, I want to say this: like, New Jersey has to be different from Texas because look at how densely populated and how connected we are to New York
That's
City.
exactly what I was gonna say.
So and even tri-states like Philly, or you know what I mean, like those, we're all so close to each other and we all commute amongst each other. So it's so easily spread. In a place like Texas, everybody's staying in Texas unless you have a reason to go out. But otherwise, you have everything in that big ass state where, you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, Jersey is one of the smaller states in the country, and
has
it's
the
one of
most
the
in and out.
highest populated.
growing up. I was always taught in school that New Jersey is the most densely populated state.
I think it's so true.
There's many cities in New Jersey that are top the charts in cities in the United States with like people per capita. So, you know, we're all living like really close to each other. Yet, you know, we have suppressed the virus at the end of the day. Like it's coming back around in waves, but like it's no different from the flu or that's how I feel. Like, you know, like my mom actually got sick from COVID, and like I heard her talk and I heard her speak when she had it, and it sounded like she had the flu. You know,
Yeah, but at the same token, there's a thing that you can get, a vaccination to prevent yourself, or you can know what to do.
But
I actually found out one of my dad's closest friends from the Army about 2 weeks ago just passed away from COVID. You know what I mean? And if it was a regular flu, that the chances of that happening are way slimmer. You know what I mean? Like,
But
with COVID, it's like, what are you going to do? You have it. There's nothing we can do about it. You're going to die. That's it.
at the
And it may be just as dangerous health-wise, but flu, there's something we could do about it. And COVID, there's that. Unfortunately, my dad's best friend from the Army passed away.
The one thing, though, I had to say about it is, like, people are going to react differently to things. And, you know, this is through the media mainstream now. So we see it, like, through a magnifying glass. You know,
Right.
the flu. People were dying from the flu, and nobody even talked about it. You know, people got the flu and ended up dying from pneumonia or something
Yeah.
like of that nature, and like it was the flu's cause, but they labeled it as pneumonia.
They didn't have
You know, now
information like
now it's
nowadays.
like COVID is like, all right, somebody
misconstrued.
passed away, but they could die from pneumonia. They had COVID. We're just gonna leave it as a COVID death.
Yeah, but
You
you
know,
know,
so
you
I
know
understand
why?
that, but like I was saying though, you gotta bring it back to where there is no cure for this. So if you get it, you're fucked. At least you're preventable. So if you catch the flu and you're not able to handle that, unfortunately, that's on you. You had something that could have made your situation better, and you chose not to. You know what I mean? Act upon that. But with COVID, you had no choice. You catch that shit, and it's more
a waiting
it's
period,
more
yeah.
contagious.
But
In
back-
the fact that we can go out and it
Not
can
even
be
know you have it
anywhere.
yet.
Back to
You know what I
T's
mean?
point, though. Back to T's point. What he was saying about like the flu, and if you had something other causes that killed you, it was the other cause or whatever. Now with COVID, it's always COVID. But you got to understand that these hospitals and stuff like
making
that
money
are
off of
making money because like
Yeah.
if you put on the death certificate that you died from COVID, they get like an extra
It was
whatever.
pneumonia, but
Just shows the
All right,
true
that's not even
nature
debatable.
of our system.
Right.
You know,
Right. But that's my point about the whole thing is that I feel like this virus is
life-changing.
bad. I'm not saying it's good.
it's life changing.
It's life changing, but I feel like they're using this to change the whole way the
yeah,
United
the
States,
Matrix, the whole
especially.
yeah,
system.
thanks.
You know,
I mean, if you think about like I don't know, I'm not gonna run in this tangent real quick, but just want to put it out.
let it go,
like
bro.
modern warfare. You know, like if you think about modern warfare, people just can't just drop nukes on people anymore. That time is over. You
got
know?
5G for
Like
that.
you know, like there's so many
Right.
world powers in this world where you do something like that and you might just like kill everybody in your country. And that's just facts.
And
now.
you're
So-
also putting the
so
attention
now-
all on yourself.
So now you have to think of back road ways of doing war, and like honestly, people are profiting off of this, and people are losing off of this, and at the end of the day, the world's set up for just
I
gains.
say something
you know?
on that.
Yeah,
That's
go ahead.
crazy.
Yeah.
You talk so with the warfare going on. Like, look at my daughter. You know, Buddha, which your son. Like, she's heartbroken. She don't see her friends no more, and it's almost like they're setting up for a way for the youth to like, go through this way of schooling. Like, we ain't have computers and go through that webcam shit. So I can't relate to her. When she's upset. She can't see her friends. She can't. And
Even like like the Jetsons, like how everything was like in one room. You could do everything in one room.
Yeah.
Like that's where we're heading. Like I can buy a machine that could cook anything at any time. I can. There's no more. The funny thing when you were talking about like the Joe Rogan podcast with that dude, like nature. You know what I'm saying? Like going out and just like sitting down,
Genuine-
and
like
seeing a
genuineness.
waterfall or something like
Yes.
that, and just
That
like
shit, honestly,
watching
it
for like
honestly,
an hour or two, like that's a
it does
different
shit
feeling.
to your brain.
Yeah, bro.
Like
It's a
if you go
different
out,
feeling,
if
you know?
it like I with my ex girlfriend, I went out to a couple different trails or whatever, and I remember like, granted, I was stoned as fuck, but even if I wasn't stoned, I'm just being honest, right? I just sat there and like T said, looked at the water, and I could just zone in and not even think about a single fucking thought. But it felt like it was cleansing, and I felt like I was my dopamines were just
Yeah.
going off the wall, dude. I felt so
Yep.
happy to be there,
Yep.
and I had no reason why, but just the fact that it was so
was nature.
pleasant to look at. It's like I belonged there, and instead we're in these, you know what I mean, cubicles
Homes
and,
with the
and buildings, and
technology.
we're so, even though we feel so free that we can
Yeah.
go on a phone and I can hit up
Yep.
you in 2 seconds and watch you respond to me. Are we really
Right.
that much more liberated, or
Right.
are we more enclosed to one single thing that
That's what it
controls
is,
us?
bro.
You
That's
know,
what it is.
It's freeing, to go out there and and you just hear the birds, the nature around you, like that's the true purpose, But now it's like human nature has created things that can substitute for that feeling.
Yeah.
Like I can sit down and play video games for 6 hours, and you get your
Stimulate.
up and downs of rushes
Right.
through your mind where you're happy and then sometimes you get mad.
I
But
know
like
about
when
the
you
mad part when it
yeah,
comes
but
to Call of
when
Duty.
you're in
You
nature,
lose
like you
track of
never,
time, yeah.
there's always a solid line. There's no
Right.
up and down.
There's
Like,
pure
Exactly,
bliss.
you
it's
know, it's just
simulated
like,
though.
you know,
Like what,
yeah, you know.
like
And
going
let's-
off of what you're saying, the shit is simulated. It's like it's fake reality. Like we're playing games and we're happy, but why are we really happy? What are we achieving? Oh, my gun is gold.
They're controlling our
You know what I mean? You're
vibrations,
happy
bro.
about that, but what have you really achieved? When you go out in the nature and you're feeling that, you're feeling the vibes, you're breathing the fresh air. It just gives you a certain clarity. Like I
Right.
could walk out of that situation that I was in, walking out of that trail that I was at, and go into my car with a whole new state of mind
Clear
and a whole
view.
new game plan
Yep.
about shit that I wasn't even worried
Right.
about an hour before.
Right, not angry.
So talking
not
about
mad.
the gaming, let's get into some PS5 action.
Yeah.
All right,
there
so
we
so
go.
out of everybody here, T is the only one who's got a PS5. What do you think is the biggest, most significant difference when it comes to PS5 compared to PS4?
Honestly, it's an upgrade. You know, the feeling of the system is a lot better, a lot smoother. But at the end of the day, like
The
you know,
load times.
everything's faster. You know,
Yeah.
it's definitely a next generational thing. You know, when you talk about next gen, like they hit the mark. You
But
know?
does it feel as next generational as PS3 did to PS4? Because I didn't have a PS4 at release. I had an Xbox One.
Yes.
So when I played Xbox
Yes.
One and I played 2K, I was almost afraid to play it because of how real it looked. Of
Right.
course, looking back at it now, I'm like, what was I thinking? But you know what I mean? I had that. When I played your PS5, I was impressed, but I didn't get that same feeling that I felt when I went from that generation to the Xbox One PS4
Well, I
generation.
feel,
yeah,
I
I
feel
agree,
like
I
we
agree.
kind of not plateaued.
No, yeah,
We didn't.
definitely.
I don't
we're
think I don't-
plateauing.
I feel like it's
happening.
getting
yeah.
better. It's getting better, but it's not like because like when you said from PS3 to PS4, like my biggest change would be from PS2 to PS3.
Yeah.
I kind of mind blown
Yeah, I
by
agree
like
with that.
PS2 kind of still had
Yeah,
like
but you could
Just
bring it
setting
back
up
to
for AR, for virtual
Atari to Nintendo, and then
Right.
from think about Atari. What were you playing on Atari? Pac-Man, Space
Pong.
Invaders, and then you move to Nintendo. All of a sudden, you got a little man named Super Mario
Yeah.
jumping through a whole board like
It's
that was
amazing.
revolutionary. Then you go to Super Nintendo, and that was crazy. Super Nintendo, you bring it to N64 and
N64
PlayStation.
was a
Now
big
you have
change.
that was the
Three-dimensional.
biggest change in my
Yeah.
personal opinion. From Super Nintendo to N64
Yeah.
or PlayStation, 3D graphics, having a
Right.
full world around you, that was the biggest change. And to
Yeah.
summarize everything I'm saying, I don't get that same feeling in this generation's
Yeah, no.
release of consoles.
I agree.
the setup.
Definitely, like PS2 to PS3 was the
Yeah. It
was
greatest
For
change.
us,
Okay.
yeah. But I
Just
feel like
like
the
that.
next biggest thing. I feel like you're right. I think we have plateaued when it comes to like a single console like that.
It's got to be the next step. Has got to be real.
It's
Virtual-
becoming
right,
more.
virtual
It's becoming
reality.
more
I feel like
marketing.
that is the next thing when you can actually sit there because they have
Customize
because I've
shit,
seen
buy
things
different, you
I've
know?
seen things out there where it's like like you have like the goggles on, you're on like this treadmill looking
Call of
thing.
Duty thing,
Yeah.
right?
Right. That thing is amazing.
Japan got
Imagine
shit,
everybody
yeah.
playing that.
Everybody
Bro,
would be skinny.
yeah, right. That's what I'm saying, and that's why a lot of people getting sick too, because we're all fucking out of shape and fucking don't have enough vitamins in us.
Sitting on the couch playing fucking Call
Yeah,
of
that's
Duty.
exactly why. You know,
It sounds far fetched, but it's closer than we think. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like
And that's what Joe Rogan was saying on his podcast.
Well, it's
that,
real.
You know what I
Game
mean? Like
Boy
he
to
thinks
now,
that,
like putting
Yeah.
on glasses and like.
and then, but then the minute that you like PS4 already introduced the actual virtual reality, and I've tried it. It's crazy,
Yeah.
dude. Like my boy Ron, he's not afraid of fucking anything. And he put on the fucking thing. He's playing like Silent Hill or something. I watched this grown man, big man, fucking pull his shit off his
Yeah,
head,
dude.
throw it on the couch, and go,
Yep.
"Ah!" Like he was fucking freaked the fuck out. So now, is it gaming or is it a form of the Matrix, like the movie?
Yeah.
Like, are you living in a separate reality now
Right.
where you
An
could play?
alternate
What if you're playing
universe.
GTA? What if you're
Right.
playing GTA,
Spending more time in this Matrix
and
than-
you want to be the biggest drug dealer on the block? You want to
Right.
steal cars? You want to do this? Now you're officially in a different reality
Right.
now.
Right.
That's similar to this reality, but you're
where you can
controlling
still
it.
get bagged by the cops. You
Yes.
still got.
You bring up a good point there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people use gaming as a way of to escape, you know,
Yeah.
reality, and you know, like I was saying, like with nature before, like again, the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like you go out there and you breathe that fresh air, and your mind just takes a different road, you know. And playing games is fun and all because like you want to be in control. Everybody wants to be in
Right.
control of their life, you know. So like that's a way of grabbing it. Like you could be a gamer and it's your whatever you do, you know, like that's what you're
Right.
doing, you know.
Yo,
And that's why even like
You
not
know,
even
you have a reset.
not even gaming, like all just online. Like people take online like personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like they're different from they social media. You know, like that way they can market themselves and like they make money off of their personality.
Or
That's
even
all
if they're
great, but they,
curious.
outside of that, they might be a totally different person.
Right, that's
you know?
what I'm saying.
You know.
Grown ass men, you know, with their avatars.
So,
like it's scary.
Well,
dude.
I was gonna ask Trey about this, but you know what, yo, Big Mike, let me hear. I want to hear because I want to hear your opinions and I want to hear Marucci's opinions on this too. What do you think are the benefits and the cons of going into that reality where we could be in a game and live a different life? Like, what do you think are the benefits of that, and what do you think are the cons of that? Because I could see mostly cons in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I see some benefits, but like,
Yeah.
think about it. Like, I feel like people are just going to be sitting on their ass, and then, like, what do you have to do? Just pay the rent? If you can pay the rent and, you know what I mean, take care of your family, you don't have to strive for anything else because you
I
can get it
feel
through a
like
video
It
game.
depends on the person, on how good it affects them and how
It
bad
depends,
it is.
yeah. But I
Dude,
feel like the
that's-
Yeah,
cons
but
are
what I'm saying
outweigh
is
it.
though, if you can be in charge of your virtual reality, what does it matter how great your real reality is if you can pay the bills and have the light on to turn the
Again,
electricity on and go into your
It
in the
depends
internet
on
to
the
go into
person.
your-
Like, say someone who's not very social or they're not good with people, they might feel better in that alternate.
Yeah,
but
but
wouldn't a person who can have the qualities opposite of what you're talking about, why wouldn't they want to join that too? Because they could be even greater in their virtual
well, think of
reality
it this
world.
way. Think of it this
Everybody
way.
could be even
You
greater
gotta-
than their
you
original
gotta-
But they
selves.
might be already content with their.
Listen.
reality.
I think
But my
you
thing
got
is
to
the
think of
pros
it
and the
this way.
cons. What are the pros
Go
and the
ahead,
cons?
Big
Go ahead,
Mike.
Mike.
The pros and the cons to it. All right. To put it in general, the pros, there's really not many pros, and the reason why there's not many pros, the pros is yes, it's a form of entertainment, it's a getaway, and you know everything in moderation is good, but people that are so in depth with the games and stuff like that, and they start getting into this alternate universe that they want to be in, they're gonna wind up diminishing their life. And my whole thing about it is any kind of form of entertainment, if these vloggers on YouTube or if it's any kind of game console, a lot of it is to distract you from real issues that are in real life.
Trolls,
and
yep.
and the people who are benefiting off of this are people who are just taking all the money and all the money, and they want people to dumb themselves down.
Financially
But
benefiting.
what I'm saying though is, how does that negatively
But
affect
mentally
you? What's
benefiting?
going on in the world? If you could just go home every day after your job and go live in the world that you want to live in, why would you give a fuck what's going on out there?
Because you're
if
gonna
you gotta
diminish
go and
it.
you
Because
gotta
it's
work,
not
if you
real.
gotta go, but it doesn't matter if it's real, because if you're in your dream world by putting your virtual
All right,
reality
hold on.
glasses
That's
on
real.
and you live in that reality, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
what's
but
real
what
and what's
kind of-
fake.
but
You
what
can
kind
have
of
every
relationship-
sensation except
Here's my
for
con.
except for sex.
What
you're
kind
not
of-
gonna you're not gonna get a girl,
Right, and but that's the point. What kind of relationship are you going to have? There's no relationships. You're going to diminish the species. It's kind of like a Darwinism. It's
So
like
you're saying in a general aspect
in a
of
general
life.
right, in a general
I'm
aspect.
asking you personally, like as a person.
Well,
what
I
are
would-
your pros and cons?
My pros and cons would be that, you know, we're going to see a lot of people kind of die off in a way, not in like the general terms of like, you know, right now or whatever, but you're going to see less people having, you know, children, and you're going to see a lot of these people who aren't going to be motivated to do things. This is what the, you know, the elite, the top rank want to see. They want to see people not trying to strive for greatness, not try to see the truth. They just want to have them dumb down, kind of kill off all the people who, you know, in their minds are worthless, and people become worthless because people think they're worthless, and they kind of give them the opportunity to be worthless. I'm sorry.
But
if
they
you
need to have all those people. You have to have a lot of people to make a government function. Yo, Marucci, what do you
see-
think about this?
All
I
right,
want to
so
hear
we'll
your
go
thoughts
with
on this too.
So essentially, going back to what T said, there's gonna be no naturalism. They're taking you away from light. You're gonna be staring in front of a fucking TV. That's a con. All right, everybody's gonna have bad eyesight. You're gonna be listening to these frequencies that they give
true.
you. You know, and there's these guys sitting in studios working on frequencies that make you think differently. You know, you're gonna react differently to you know certain choices in life, and you're just essentially gonna go down this warp tunnel and just, you know, like Big Mike said, feed these companies. And what I think is they're gonna start providing jobs. Oh, you want to work? Activision will start hiring you as an NPC. You have a full-time job in the game to play as a computer while people are playing. Now you're gonna start making money. You have avatars. You could dress up how you want, and now you have alternate, personalities. It's getting scary.
But that might not be a terrible thing in that aspect because you're opening up a whole different direction of
something-
actual jobs
that's-
too that are paying for people that want to live in that reality that where it doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world.
All I say
you
is-
brought up something interesting like that. I never even thought about it that way. Like, you can literally make like a game where, people have jobs and stuff in it, and
Yeah,
then people
a
just play, like
Sims.
play it. You know what I'm saying? But
have relationships and like do what.
you got to think about it too in this way, in this aspect. Like, people still have to get off and eat. People,
Yeah.
you can't.
Well,
you
yeah.
can't live in a virtual reality and still get the nutritional value of life to survive.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there's a balance. You got to go out, socialize.
And they're just like Big Mike said, they're dumbing people down. Trades, craftsmen, carpentry. People don't want to pick up a tape measure and do shit nowadays. They want to go home and play some games. They don't want to learn.
Yep.
They want to level their
Yeah,
shit up.
it's an easy way out,
Yep.
and life. I don't know. I feel like experiences through life is a lot more greater than experiences through a virtual reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. My thing was just like if VR becomes so overwhelming where your outside world doesn't matter anymore. Like if I could go work an 8-hour shift or whatever, my serving shift at Red Robin, whatever, 4 hours, get money to turn my bills,
I'd be
whatever,
scared, bro.
and be phony enough to make it through the day. And just know that I can go home and be whoever the fuck I want
See, I'd
once
be
I get in
scared.
my house.
There's no
That's
uniqueness.
something I'm looking forward to, and
That's
where
a-
honestly I could be like, I could be an extrovert, but at heart I'm an introvert. So it's like if
You
I could
hop
do
on,
that,
you start partying. All right.
But you see,
you know what I
that's-
mean. I'm good. I don't.
That's
I don't,
reality,
it don't
though.
matter.
That's reality,
Everything's reality,
not that alternate reality.
but it's a branch off of reality because it affects your life. Anything that affects your life is reality.
You brought up a great point though between the extrovert and introvert. I think that getaway is the common ground between both. Being an introvert, like people are shy to come around and speak their mind because they just feel like somebody's gonna be like, nah, I could do it better than you.
They're too
But-
hard on themselves.
But when they might go on a game and they feel like now they don't have that pressure
It's a
because
wrap.
they can make their own bubble. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like they could
There's
get
no judgment.
eventually you're gonna find like people online that are like you and like you can communicate with. So
Right.
that's a pro. I feel like that's
Of
a pro.
course.
Because socializing in real life is a lot different than socializing through a game.
Right.
There's no like ties where you gotta see them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, there's a lot less risk.
Exactly.
you can be who you want to be.
That's the main.
That's the
That's so
thing.
great.
Yeah.
I want to transition with that. So I want to go over an idea I have.
Shoot.
This might sound
Big Mike
shit.
idea.
I am.
I love Big Mike ideas.
I was talking to my girl about this.
Drum roll, please.
So my idea is, on like a real level, I kind of want to get into the minds of really, really religious people. I don't know why. I just have this fascination. I want to
Like what kind of really religious? Like
Like,
Jewish
well,
religious or like Muslim religious?
well,
Like,
listen. This is
there's
the-
a difference
Oh.
between the two.
No, this is where I'm
Go
getting
ahead,
to.
finish.
I want to have like a series of this podcast, okay, where whoever's here, whatever, but I want to have on one of the mics, I want to have, I want to do one with a really devout rabbi, and have a real conversation. We might have to,
I got
we might have to like,
So you gonna get a rabbi in your crib?
yeah, no,
I would love to see.
I'm gonna
you
try.
Convince
I wanna
a
be here for
rabbi
that
Right.
one.
to come in your
and then,
house.
but then on top of that, like I want to do one where we get like a priest.
We serious about this?
I'm
'Cause
being
the
dead
guy I
serious.
work with, where I get paid, is a
Yo,
Jehovah's Witness.
can we have them all
Like,
at the
you know,
same
he-
time?
I would love that too, but that's going to be a little more difficult.
no.
I
I think he could get Marucci's guy in here. He's a priest.
But like
You
I
ain't
said,
getting no rabbi in here.
there's
Yeah,
gonna be no
I could
way-
get a
no
good
way it's
gonna
rabbi.
be
No,
about-
you could get a rabbi, Trey.
Yeah.
I think he could, but
Wait, why do you think he could?
Because he works. I used to work where he works. It's
got
pretty
you.
easy.
My
So you
question
make a
is
rabbi
why
and
Big
they, and,
Mike?
they,
Like, I'll
and,
come
and
to
a
your
lot of them know
apartment
me
and I'll
too.
come in there and-
But what I would say is this: the main concept of it is because just as retrospect, I am not a religious person. Obviously, I'm spiritual. I believe in the higher power, all that other stuff. But my main thing is I just really want to get into the mindset of how they feel, what they feel, and why they feel that way. Because, you know, everybody has these thought processes throughout their whole lives where they feel like they're right and this is their God and this is their religion. But, you know, my whole thing is like, you can live your whole life and be fucking wrong.
So without having them here, obviously we can't have that podcast right now, but we could talk about how you feel. So what do you feel about that whole situation? Obviously we know you're not religious, but
Right.
you said you believe in a higher power. So
Yeah, like-
if you believe in a higher power, be more specific. Not to correct you, but I just
right.
want to hear.
So my in-depth analysis on this, and I won't go too long with it, but I will explain how I feel about it. So, for one, I think any organized religion, is a cult. And my whole thought process of it is, you know, we call cults all these different things, all these different categories. We say, oh, they're cults, they're cults, they're cults. But like the Christian, you know, Catholic Church, that's a cult in itself. And I grew up where, you know, my family's Roman Catholic. They still go to church once in a while. They're not like devout, but in general, Roman Catholic is a cult, you know. And then, like, you know, you see things and, you know, you got to think of it this way. Like, you know, George Carlin had that great bit where he's like, you know, you worship this invisible man in the sky and all he wants is money. You know what I mean? You have to always give money to the church.
I've seen that.
Right.
That.
It's a funny skit.
That's perspective, though.
It is
Right.
all perspective.
But in general, I just feel like,
Because my grandfather was a pastor, and he said that the offerings went to the churches like bills.
And-
You got to think though, like you're diving into something
Yeah, when
that's
you-
very,
this is gonna
very
be-
touchy.
right.
Because
But the
like
thing is, I'm going to be
people live-
respectful about it.
People live their lives on basic principles.
Yeah.
You know, now you're bringing up a issue where I'm not saying it's a bad thought because like yes, I feel like religious leaders need to come together and have a forum like the UN. You know, like they need to talk.
Right.
And,
It's
different
because a lot of conflicts in this world come from religion.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, but-
and that like. What you're thinking is like next level because
Yeah, but
they
this
don't
is-
think that way. You
But
know
this
what
is
I'm
where
saying?
I'm
Like,
coming with it, okay? I just think, in general, like I said, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm 100%. My you know, beliefs in general is do what the fuck you want, really.
course.
Like, I'm not against you. Listen, if you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to be Catholic, be Catholic. I
That's
don't
just
care.
control. That's
Right. But my whole thing is, you know, like, to believe, you know, to say, okay, put it this way, to say the Vikings are wrong because they believe in all these gods in the sky, but then to say, but my invisible God in the sky is real.
And there was a guy who separated the ocean.
Exactly. So it's like you can have all these extravagant stories and believe in an invisible man, but we all look at mythology,
You know what I
which
think
is
it is?
thousands of years ago of religion,
I-
and say they're wrong.
I
You know,
think,
how can we say they're wrong? Maybe there is a
I think it's just
not Thanos.
not
I was gonna
fear,
say-
It's
but
not really.
They have
maybe-
laws. They got to, you know, not to cut you. They had to follow laws. So for someone else to come and be like, "Oh, Allah," a Christian's gonna be like, "Well, sorry, pero Jesucristo and the Lord, that's my God." You know, everyone follows theirs.
But
yeah,
all
it's
the
a
rules
common
are similar.
ideology. Common,
Exactly.
Common
And-
ideology.
Right.
That
You know,
coincides
and
exactly what
you
I'm
brought-
saying.
And this is a little touchy subject too, but where I feel like with the LGBTQ community, you know, like I feel like it's forced. You know, like
Right.
you know, like people can't have a separate thought from it. You know, like if you don't think separately from it, then you're like basically, you know, like killed or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
shot in the middle of the street, you know, through PR and like, oh, this company doesn't think this way and like, but that's a choice at the end. Like you make that choice to do that,
And they'll learn
So
from that.
yeah, like why force it on, you know, on certain
Yeah.
people or just like or a certain company? Like if they want to make the decision to say, you know what, I don't support that. Don't kill them for it if they don't want to support that. You know, and there's
Like,
this time like people are getting destroyed
Yeah,
when they
but-
say like, you know what,
but
like
see-
I want to keep that out of there.
But
you
see,
know?
the difference is that yes, once again, you can't force people to have an opinion. And you know my thing about it is,
not that I'm against it. Like
even-
I'm not saying I'm
even
against it. I'm
words.
just saying like it should be a choice. Like I should have a choice to say. Like,
right?
I
You
do
should
what I
have a
want.
choice to say, but I'm gonna even go deeper into that. Right? These words we put, all these negative stereotype words we put, the N word and all this other stuff. You know, we kind of are making things
Of course.
more
Bigger than they
more
are.
bigger than they
Yeah.
is. So like
Law
for
of
one thing,
attraction.
I'm
In what sense of the mean do you mean that?
I mean it
what
like
do you
this.
mean bigger?
So like for one thing, if you're censoring people from saying that word, like me, I'm not racist. We're all very diverse right here.
You could say stuff without being rude.
Right.
There's a difference.
But the thing about it is, it's like if I walk into a room, right, and everybody has to be so politically correct, I don't know who the racist in the room is. Like, say how you feel, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Say how you feel. If you are the racist, listen, I can respect you as a
But you
person,
should have
but
control
at least
of
I
it,
know who
so.
you are. It's
No,
like,
no,
There's
hold
a
up,
time
hold up. If
Like,
you're a
in that
racist, I
case-
don't respect you as a person. I don't respect your
Yeah.
ideology. and
Not
that
your
means that
ideology.
I don't respect your ideology, and I don't respect your logic. And if you don't have that compassion for human beings, thinking that you're better than another human being, then I don't respect you.
all right, but either way, wouldn't you rather know who it is than just walking in and be like, oh, everyone's
No.
got to be politically correct?
Sometimes,
You'd rather
it
not?
don't even
sometimes
matter
you
to
don't want
me.
to know, like,
It
because I
doesn't
don't
even
care.
matter.
Because
If I meet somebody and I get that and there's like, all right, hypothetically speaking, there's a radar that says, oh, racist.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna go into that situation a little more better and a little more different and a little more cautious
reserved.
rather than being myself and being free. Even if it's a 30-second engagement,
going on, yeah.
it's ruining that and it's turning into something that's gonna affect my day.
up their vibes.
I'm empathic, bro. Like if I feel a weird energy, that weird energy is gonna come on me. I've never been a person that could just deter it and be like, oh yeah, nah, brush it off. No, that shit affects me because I care about people a lot.
It's
you know
just
what I mean?
it's just a place you don't want to be in.
Yeah. So if I feel somebody's has hatred towards other people because of their skin, their religion, so on and so forth, that's going to affect me in a negative way. And it might take a little bit of time
You don't
for
want to be
me.
around those kind of people.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to break out and be myself again.
Yeah.
When I could have just been a, hey, how you doing today? Oh, can I get a soda? Yeah, okay. Have a great day. Conversation over because that person I'll never see again.
Yep.
So that those topics are very touchy, you know. Like,
No, they are.
I accept anybody I meet in life. I accept 100%.
For a
Well, I'm gonna
purpose.
give I'm not gonna
they
judge
went
anybody.
12 rounds right now.
You know, like every book is a book. You can't read it by its cover. That's
Right.
what, you know what I'm saying. Like when I meet somebody, it doesn't matter who they are. You know, like just
Give 'em an ear.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I
makes
don't
me
care
so
what's
mad.
going on.
It just makes me so mad that like I 100% think that there is systemic racism. I 100% believe that. I believe there's a lot of wrong things in this world. I just think that the world kind of pushes these narratives
Yeah.
because it's good for politics. It's good for everything.
Yeah,
Division.
it's-
Politics is based off of
I want to
division.
say it definitely has a lot to do with the technology we have today.
Yeah.
Like Facebook, all the social media, it makes everything worse. I know for a fact when I was a kid, like obviously the racism was present, but it was faint.
A lot more dormant.
Like growing up, I had the most diverse group of friends,
Well,
like
where do you come from, Trey?
from the Bronx.
That's a melting pot right there.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
But like our circle, like we had everything you could think of. We had, even as far as religion, we had Muslim, Catholic, Black, White, Spanish, Asian,
little bit of everything.
like everything
And how did you guys all respect each other? Like
One, yeah.
your
as
person,
one.
the way she
Like we didn't.
Until
Right.
we hit high school, and
We
then
all knew our
separations
own
and
backgrounds,
cliques.
but we all seen each other as the same, you know? And
Right.
that's the difference today. Everyone is their own thing. Like, even if you're the same, everyone sees themselves different than the next person.
right.
And that's the people that aren't raised in those environments like you were. You gained that knowledge because of being there. T's gained that knowledge because Jersey City's another melting pot. You
Diverse.
know what I mean? I grew up in predominantly white area. You know what I mean? But I still have that nature of loving everybody because of my growing up. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm cool with everybody. I love
Right.
my people, so on and so forth. But the people that are stuck and dormant in a situation where they're not engaging with people of other colors and religions, so on and so forth, it's like, can you really put the blame all on them? And how do you
No.
change that? Can you
It's
change
closed
that?
mindedness.
Ed-
Closed,
ed-
yeah.
education is huge, you know. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you educate a closed-minded person? Like you can't teach an
can't-
old dog new
you
tricks.
can't do that, but this is what it comes down to, individualism. Like, you got to think for yourself. You know, like, it's the people that you. Now, I don't want to say the people. I just want to say it's the thought process of thinking that whatever I have experienced is life. You know, and that's the biggest question. Can you differentiate that feeling from going on your own path? You know.
It comes down to the broadcast.
Because
Broadcast,
sometimes people,
Social media.
sometimes people from areas that do have that percentage
news.
of a certain just one race do come out and they make a difference and they do connect with ethnic races and stuff like that.
How long
But
does it ever last?
But that's the same thing.
That's the choice
You know,
that
that's
one
the choice,
individual
you know,
makes when they've had it.
But
and
like growing up, like from Jersey City, like I saw everybody's perspective. Like I met kids from different backgrounds, different cultures. In school, we had culture day where I learned about this culture, this culture, this culture. Like that's a broad sense of teaching. You know?
Yeah, and they don't do that.
Nope.
Yeah, no, but they don't do that. Like where I'm from, I grew up in Brick, and Buddha knows. You know, I'm a white guy, and I grew up in a very predominantly white community. You know, it takes open-mindedness to actually explore. You know, my best friend is Puerto Rican. He's always been my best friend. It's always been a Puerto Rican guy who's been my best friend.
That's
You know,
me, JB.
That's right.
By the way.
But in general, it's like I'd never close my mind off to people
have to be
who
ready
are
to
different than
accept
me.
change.
You know,
It
be
takes a
scared.
certain person. You know, you have to be open minded.
I've always found
You have
a
to.
lot of white people to be annoying as fuck. To tell you that much, you know.
But
in our area, but then there's some cool ass motherfucking.
Oh, yeah.
But that's in every aspect because I could meet a black guy who's super defensive in meeting somebody, and they have every right to be because you know what I mean. You got to realize where they come from, and it's deeper than I could even touch into in this conversation.
Yeah.
Different-
So they come into a situation in a defensive manner. You know what I mean? I've had a few. Black friends growing up and our first encounters were, a little bit awkward and then little by little we're best friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's all about being able to break out of the mold as T and Trey were both saying, break out of the mold that you're used to.
Right.
And being able to think differently and for yourself.
Like one thing
every Big Mike is cool with every culture. You know what I mean? Big Mike might as well just be Puerto Rican, black mixed up, and then he's, you know what I mean? Like, white dude, but on the inside, you know what he really is.
Eventually, everybody's gonna have everybody.
Exactly.
You know, that's where it's coming down to. Like, I'm black and I'm white, so from experience, I could say like
Oreo.
yeah, like that's why I was my nickname, fucking Oreo. I was an Oreo. You know, like
every black and white.
I switched it up though. Today I have the chocolate filling. The next day I have the white filling. But
oh shit!
But see, that's like a superpower,
That's what
bro.
she said.
That's a superpower.
Yeah.
Inside out.
You know, but
yeah,
it comes down to just being able to accept. Like
I really want.
when everybody's on the same platform, like that's when everybody can get along.
Right.
You know, like,
Bro.
but
And that's
the thing
my point. That's my point
in our
from the get-go.
country. In our country, capitalism, that's what United States is, capitalism. It's always, I want to be better than somebody else.
Right.
But it's broken. It's not
is,
made.
you know,
It's not made to last forever. Hence, you see what's going on nowadays.
But I did want to bring it up though, like you're talking about inner cities, like it takes a village to live. Like people are willing to accept other
Bartering,
people
trading.
to make a living, and you have to survive. But like if you go to the suburbs, like you have your house and you just go straight home and you only interact with 5 or maybe 6 people.
Right.
And there's people that I interact with like maybe 20 to 30 people a day.
Yep.
And if you're living in the city, a lot of people in the city don't have cars sometimes.
Yeah.
They
Give
walk
the
everywhere they
gas.
got to go.
So
So
it's
you're
just-
walking to the bodega, you know what I mean? You see Hector, you see
It comes down
Felix, you
to
see this guy and
a
that guy,
lifestyle.
and you know what I mean? You're making new friends every day of the week. But I'm right, though, you know what I mean? Because in Puerto Rico, it's the same way. You're meeting new people, but you're treating them like friends. And a lot of people around here, where I'm from, don't have that aspect. Everybody pretends that they don't know each other. When I see somebody, I like to say, "Hey, how are you?" or some kind of greeting. But most people just want to put their head down and act like they don't even see you.
I don't mean to go off topic, but can I just say Errol Spence Jr. is still undefeated.
Danny
Undefeated.
Garcia.
He won.
I've been watching on my phone. He's been chipping him up.
I'm not
Isn't
sure.
Danny Garcia
Nah, it was a close fight though. I've been watching. the
Yeah,
whole
no,
time.
it's been close, but he was definitely chipping him up good. Like I said,
He
he's
got
he's
better
very technical.
shots, but
We gotta go back to
He's
this.
got a good defensive
but Danny
mentality.
Garcia held his own too though.
But
He's got like a Floyd Mayweather, but he doesn't. You know what I mean?
That was
He's
a
more
good fight.
attack.
but back
was a good fight.
But back to where we're at. Okay, so the main thing is, we look at people differently. People say things, and I think what it is, it's okay to look at a person differently, but not because of the color of their skin. You look at people differently because of their actions, what they
Yes,
do.
actions speak
You know what I
Wanna
mean?
learn from them.
Right.
Yeah, but that's also like if I'll be real with you. If I have a table, right? If I'm serving a table, right, and it's a white guy, I'm gonna, hey, how are you today, sir? How's everything going? And then I have, a Hispanic fella, yo, what's
Como
up,
tá,
bro?
Bobby? Yeah, it's
You know what I
different
mean?
approach.
And then there's a
Que
black
pasa?
guy, yo, what's up,
going
bro?
on, bro?
You know what I mean? Because I'm all those
Yes,
and
yes.
mix in one.
got the
And not
environment.
everybody is, but I feel like everybody at this table is.
Yeah, but
some people
serving
can
is
only relate
different.
to one. It's
Serving
not
is
different
different.
though,
That's a
because I would
skill.
handle that situation in real life the same exact
That's a
way
skill.
if I had to approach it. Because if you're talking to an old white gentleman, you're not gonna be like, yo, what's up, bro?
Yeah, no.
But if I'm talking to a young African American guy, I'm like, yo, what's good, bro? Like, what's
And
going
not
on?
everybody
You know what
has
I mean?
that, yeah.
And he'll get that vibe immediately that it's not false. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we'll be able to converse with each other.
Yep.
But I'm also able to speak with an older white
All
person
types,
and,
yeah. Well,
there's a lot of
and be
cultural
on the same
difference.
level without being phony because I know that. I know that too.
It's
You
a
know what I mean?
coexistence. you
Yeah,
know what I'm
but
saying?
there's
You gotta-
definitely a
you gotta
cultural
You gotta,
difference.
and just living in the Northeast, like it's all adaptation. Like nature is adaptation.
Yeah.
Like certain species adapt
Right.
to certain environments,
Right.
and your environment is what you are. So like,
But you know what's crazy? We're all the same species.
We are.
yeah, but that it comes down though to different
Fight or flight. That's our mechanism.
But there's different spiders or different birds that do different things in certain regions. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we are the same species in general.
We have
but,
different cultures.
But,
stand out a
but
little
it's your environment. Like you only can go as far as where you want to reach.
Right, but cultures differ. Even like I said, I have a
Adaptation.
Culture is kind of like
right.
species.
I have
you
a
know?
I have a example of just today. Like, so today I was working and I was in Newark, downtown Newark. Okay, and I go to this house, and it's this older black lady. Okay, but she was super nice. But it was a different culture. You just felt it when you went in. Me, just if it was somebody else, I feel like they might have been uncomfortable with the way she was talking to them. But I know, like, an older black woman wants a lot of respect and she wants to talk. And I talk to her just like I talk to anybody else, but a little bit different.
But you
know what I mean?
blend well though because
But I
you grew up
blended
having
with her.
black friends,
Right,
So
'cause,
you
like,
Different,
know.
like how?
For example, what do I know about, a black woman going to a salon and getting her hair done, right? I don't know anything. I know my mom went and got her hair
Appreciate it,
cut
though,
and
yeah.
stuff like that, but they do different things.
Compliment.
So, like, she was having this whole conversation, like, and trying to get me a part of it, which was nice that she was, incorporating me, but what do I know? I'm a
You were
bald white guy.
listening. You were listening.
But either way, she was like showing me a picture. She's like, "This is what I'm gonna do my hair. I'm gonna get a perm, or I don't know what she was doing, perm." And she was like, "I'm gonna get it ice white." And I was like, "What is ice white?"
Right.
And then I looked at it, and I was like, "You go, girl." I
Get
was like,
it,
"That's
yeah.
like
And you know
like
what,
so
Big Mike?
2020."
That
I was
made
like,
her
"How old are
fucking
you?" I was like,
day,
"You're gonna look like you're 20."
That gave-
Oh,
yeah.
she loved it. I don't start like saying like ebonics with her and like
Big Mike
going
was
like,
trying to smash.
no, man. It's just
it's just a connection.
it's a
thing, you know?
connection. It's a
No,
respect
it's a
thing.
possibility.
But then again, I will say this. It works both ways. I've been in those kind of neighborhoods, and I go to people's houses, and they look at me, and they definitely treat me differently. You know what I mean? I'm not like a normal
Yes.
person walking in there.
It does go both ways.
And that's where I was saying the defensive part,
No, it does
where
go both
where
ways.
where an African American guy might have to be a little more defensive around the white guy because
Right.
of what he was taught growing up, which I totally agree with the logic. It's unfortunate it has to be that way, and I hope one day that those conversations don't have to happen. But they have conversations how life is going to be for you as a black male. My mom had a conversation with me how things may be different for me as a Hispanic male.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But luckily, we're the ones that can be in between. Like
I
we
was
can,
fed fear,
we're right in between. Like
Right.
we're black but we're white.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Versatility.
Yup.
Versatility.
We're the
Yeah,
in
right.
between.
I don't got
You know what I
that.
mean? But we had that talk growing up.
You do have it though.
You know what I mean?
That versatility is just something that is just given to you. Like you gotta earn that. You know.
Yeah.
It was
Just
given,
like
it was given
gotta
to
get
me
your
in the
stripes.
fact that my mom taught me.
Yeah,
And my
yes,
dad
but
taught
that's
me.
through knowledge. That's not through what you look like. You know, like I mean, in sports, people play different positions because they learn how to play different positions.
Right.
And it's not in the terms of being like off of yourself. You know, like it's just
They
something
work
that
for
A
that
branch off
Yeah,
of
yeah.
yourself that's possible.
yes.
It also has to do with size though too.
What do you mean by that?
Like if you're 6 foot, you can't play center. You know.
But
Yeah,
no, I understand that. But,
I
but how are you relating to that?
In rec
Like
basketball,
in this conversation, like exactly what do you mean? What do you mean by like if you're
So you're saying
It does-
size
it
you,
does
matters?
you
matter.
mean if a
So I can't forget who said it, but someone said you could play any position.
True, but at the end of the day, it takes you to play that position. You know.
It's skill.
I'm not saying it in terms of being like I have to act this way today because I'm hanging around these people, or the next day I'm trying to act this way today. It's all about how do I relate to, you know? There's
do I
always
re-
there's
yes.
always a common ground. You know what I'm saying? That everybody that can talk about. You
how
know?
do you relate to somebody that you
my
don't
bad.
know to be
You're
able to
talking
approach
mentally.
them and make them
But you
feel
meant
comfortable?
physically.
Yeah,
Like
I mean-
if I approach a stranger, if I approach an African American male, you know what I mean?
Here's an example.
Whatever.
When
you know
we
what I mean?
met,
If
bro,
I say, "Yo, hey, what's going on, man? Like, what's up?" Like, I'm more laid back and chilled out rather than, "Hello, sir. How are you doing
Right.
today?" You know what I mean? Not to say that they can't relate to that because they have all the capability in the world to, but I want him to be comfortable, not have to feel like he has to adjust.
Right.
I want people to be able to be like, "Okay, I'm comfortable. All right, this guy's cool."
It's not
You know
about
what I mean?
adjusting like what you do. It's just about you know, I get what you're saying, but in terms of like there's a respect level, you know, like I don't know. I mean, if you want to act yourself everywhere you go,
Yeah.
like that's being, you know, that's something that you should live in, you know, that's why you live. That's
It's-
your
Well,
personality.
yeah, but I am acting myself.
But-
It's just in different.
You're
I'm
adapting.
able to relate to
To-
people.
Yeah, that's why I say it comes down to
here's
relation.
a
It
little
doesn't
quick
matter
story.
about
Like when I met
how you
JB
look, you know,
in high
or
school,
how-
you know,
what you do.
I went to Long Branch for 11 years, you know, and my senior year in high school, I go to the whitest school I've ever seen. And there's like two
Right.
other Spanish people. And that same day, first day of school, I meet JB, and he approaches me. Yo, what's up? Bop, 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 bop. That shit ain't never happened, bro. Ain't never happened. And I went into that school with the mentality like, oh, I ain't gonna meet nobody. I had the worst mentality. And life literally.
You know what the
Bro, it's the
best-
same thing.
Yeah.
Like Buddha was the
Yeah.
first person I
Where's
met.
Bond?
Also.
but you want to know the
well,
best
he
the best
approached me.
comparison
Well,
to
that
it is?
situation, but that situation that what they're touching on before you compare it,
Yeah.
that relates to what I was saying before. These guys, they're coming from other places
Right.
that they use to different things, and if I could be that bridge, I've done it for multiple
Right.
other people. If I could be that bridge to help you coexist
It's a great
It-
analogy.
Yeah.
in this world where I know how things go on, I want to be that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I want us to be friends because we know each other
Yep.
to the fullest. I may do what I do with these guys,
Yeah.
but my heart, honestly, was with you guys. We
It's
had the same
time,
mentality.
Like
we
he
grew up the
said,
same
we
way.
adapt. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, bro. You've given me a sense of confidence, you know, to go out. You know,
I mean, I didn't give you you had the confidence already.
I gained it because you know back in school.
But you helped.
yeah,
Right,
you was there.
right.
I'm glad I
spending
could do that.
time, You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like we all.
But the funny the comparison I was gonna make is, you know, like I met Marucci before all of this shit, and we didn't even know we met.
Right.
Right.
Crazy.
Right.
In soccer, right?
Right.
Exactly.
We met playing each other in soccer. You know, from being at the Twin County, which is like basically
Played
Brick, Toms
multiple
River.
times.
Right. We played Long Branch, and every time we played Long Branch, we were always like, "Oh fuck, these Spanish kids are fucking good." You know what I mean? Like these fucking Spanish kids are good as fuck. So I always looked at him as just like I didn't know if he knew English or anything. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, he's just some Spanish kid who plays on.
racist.
No, but it wasn't a racist thing. It was just like in
I
my
know,
mind
You knew who he
I'm
was when you saw him.
because
and
they,
you had that
they a
mentality
lot of them
him.
spoke in Spanish.
We all spoke Spanish.
They all spoke
That was-
Spanish to each other.
They
So-
didn't know what we were saying.
Right.
Yeah.
and
But
we're all
that's
talking
strategy.
English. Like
That's strategy.
yeah, so they're all picking us up. Now I meet him, years later. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker speaks fucking perfect English. So he was knowing exactly what we were doing the whole fucking time.
That's crazy, man.
You know, it's funny that you bring up sports though, because I feel like sports was the first bridge to everything. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yup.
like different
Absolutely.
nations playing each other. or anything like that. In
And
the
showing
Olympics.
respect.
And it's showing it coming
Loyalty,
together as
brotherhood.
one. You know, like
The
we're all
Olympics.
doing the same thing. You know, like that's huge. You know, like
You're wearing the same colors.
yes,
That's it.
yes. We're both playing the same game, but we may look different. But we're both playing the same game,
Right.
and that's something that people can relate on. You know, like,
And they almost
it's
always
all-
respect each other. All the Olympians or
that's
like
why I
the
feel-
basketball Olympics, they all, you know what I mean?
And that's
They're
why
all
that's-
fans of each other, and you know.
That's why sports is. I love sports because it does bring
It's that bridge.
unity.
Like Buddha
You
was
know,
saying, it's that
unity.
bridge that makes you comfortable to be able to, oh, check, I could do this. Oh, I could do that.
Or if I meet you for the first time, yeah, hey man, what's going on? Yo, did you watch that Knicks game last night? Yo, I'm a huge Knicks fan. Of course I watch it.
Right.
Boom. Now we're automatic. That just literally made
And that
us
was
friends
like
right
the
there.
bridge that you said. Like
To make
That's
different
what-
experiences in
that's
life.
what made Buddha approach me, from basketball,
Yep.
and that's what made me connect to him.
Yep.
So
And it went from there. And my boy CeeLo, African American,
Right.
he
Dreadlock
came in the gym
Rasta.
class. We had gym class together. He was solo, and I'll never forget. I went up to him. I was like, "Yo, you heard that new Cassidy album, bro?" And I mean, it might sound he could have took it as stereotypical, like, "Who's this guy over here asking me like, how does he
About
know
rap.
But he didn't take it that way. You know what I mean? He was like, "Nah, I didn't listen to it." And I was like, "Bro, you gotta listen to it." And then it went on, "Who's your favorite rapper?" "Oh, Lil Wayne." "Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I like this song from
Right.
Lil
Yeah,
Wayne."
it really
And then
is.
after that, boom, we're friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Common ground.
Well, that was my original. That was going to be my original thought about it. Is
Yeah.
like I want to get CeeLo on here if
Yeah,
we're going to talk
that's what I was
about
about to say.
like perspective, because this guy came straight from fucking Irvington to Bricktown. Like he literally grew up in Irvington,
Just a,
and then just the
initial
next
run.
day he's like in Brick.
But
in
By
a
the way,
white school.
CeeLo, you got a freebie on that last 2K game we played. So next one we play him,
Yo,
I'm
he's
busting that
a
ass
cheat,
if
bro. He
Yeah,
cheats.
he takes
he
a, what's he
put-
do?
he
Take-
puts
he takes
all
that point
the-
guard and then he runs the baseline.
Yeah, he's a fucking
You know
cheat,
what?
bro.
I'm
Did
gonna
you see
stop
him and
that.
Izzy
he runs.
wrestle?
He
I
runs.
used to
nice,
hear
son.
this shit.
He knows what he's doing, but and he does it where you can't stop it.
That's
he's
just
a-
cheap, though.
Yeah, but
you
it,
cheese in video games to win, right?
but at the end of the
Yeah.
day, there's always a way to stop it. And if you can't stop it, he's doing the right thing. So
You need to play default.
no, he does. He plays. He does.
He plays default?
Like defense.
No. Default.
What do you mean
like,
by default?
You just jump in the game. Don't adjust settings and.
No, he does. Yeah. Originally, he was pausing the game and he was doing some shit.
Yeah.
And I told and I said something. Yo, but we played the last few games that we played before 2K21 came out. He wasn't doing it, and then 2K21 came out. We played a couple days ago, and he didn't do it. So he's playing
2K
He's playing legit.
2K is all settings.
I want to write down.
You can. It all comes down to when you play 2K, how you control your computer AIs.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you can do it is with adjusting your settings.
Yo,
Yeah.
T taught me that shit.
But see, if everybody's on the same train where nobody's doing it, that's when it's fair.
Big
But
Mike,
if
you want that
somebody's doing
rematch?
it and getting that upper hand, in my opinion, it's not cheating, but it's cheating to the
Well,
idea
I like
of
to
what
know
we
when
have.
my guy is switching off, bro. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
no,
you
you
never
don't.
know.
You should know because you got to control it.
Control
No,
there.
I feel you because
What are you talking about?
especially in this new game,
No,
he's
you
right.
got to switch off yourself.
Yo, but no, in this game, he's right because you could be playing D on a guy, and all of a sudden the pick happens, and you can't control nothing after that. Even if you switch to the other guy, you're
L1.
game over. No,
You can
what do
bring
you mean
up.
L1's how you set a
You
pick.
could bring up. You could bring up.
defense.
He's the type of guy who says this right now, and then he'll play 2K and call everything bullshit about the game. That's
You can pick
That's
up.
bullshit.
It's not bullshit
You don't
when
want
I
that
bust your
rematch,
ass.
Big Mike.
Oh yeah, Marucci
You
did
can bring
trash
up
me
the
last time,
messaging. You could.
but I trashed
The
T.
game will tell you.
Only person
wanna
in
play
this
right
building
now?
who's touching me is T. That's the only person I'm worried about. I'm not worried about anybody else.
We'll get 2K. Well, 2K
Yeah, you
tournament
keep
tonight.
doing all that, but when remind me
can
the last
set
time
it.
you beat me, Trey.
Put that FIFA on though.
Not long ago.
Long.
I'll play you in
this very
FIFA.
house.
Oh, it was in this house.
Yeah, FIFA was my first
What was,
game.
what was the
honestly.
teams?
PlayStation. I bought PlayStation for FIFA.
The fact that you even remember it says
I
enough
was.
because I don't remember how many times
I was
bust that.
Blazers. I had Brandon Roy. I know I was shitting on you with Brandon Roy.
Judge gotta say something. Judge gotta say something. Go ahead.
We
All
don't
right.
believe you.
All right,
we need
yeah,
more
so
people.
We need a safe zone here because we got talk about FIFA, we got 2K, so we need. So how?
But the host doesn't smoke weed. That's fine. That's fine. He's smoked enough weed his whole life to be around people who smoke and be high without having to be high.
And you used to. You know what that life's like.
Oh, and that's why I have the countdown until I smoke again. How
will
long is it?
smoke
How
again.
long do we get to the?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
You just said, hold on. How you gonna say there's a countdown to when you smoke, but you don't know
I
when the
gotta-
countdown
I gotta-
begins and when it ends?
One, I gotta go to the doctor because my back hurts.
Here we go.
So I gotta make
Alright.
sure.
My
Spinal.
So if you
That's
hear
where
me
the-
now, doctor, future doctor, my back hurts really bad. I'm saying this to everybody.
All right. With that being said, what do we
vertebrae?
think about this Mike Tyson fight?
The Mike Tyson fight.
What do we
How
think?
about no? What do you think about that Nate Robinson getting knocked out fight? That's the
He
real
got knocked?
question.
That was
Oh
a
my
shocker.
god! I told you you're gonna get all your news on this damn podcast.
That's cool.
Bro.
Yeah, I was ranting how Nate was gonna fuck him up, and he got knocked the fuck out.
I think everybody thought the same thing, honestly. And then
He was burning his mouth.
you see, the thing is for me is that the first time he got knocked out, remember we were watching it. You saw his eyes when he got up. He's like, yeah. His eyes rolling to the back of his head, and we knew it was it. After that, bro, he got slumped. Look that shit up.
clearly
Bro.
was
That's
not
exactly
good.
Look that shit up.
Sorry, guys.
He-
Marucci over
Yeah,
here.
no, he was not good.
It just shows the difference between boxing and amateurs and then pros.
Exactly, it's not for everybody.
Never box again.
Yo, that dude Jake Paul actually, I've actually looked at. Yo, he's really due. He worked with fucking
Nate
Sugar Shane
Robinson.
Leonard, bro. Yeah, that was like his coach during the first fight. I don't know if it was during this one.
I mean, he hit him with a cheap shot though to start the match,
The back of the head.
Wow.
but you could just tell he
This
he
is
was
just-
out of his league.
This is just racism talk right now.
Yeah.
He's boxing.
Of course, the white guy did it. The white guy.
The way Nate was throwing his hands.
This is Marucci's reaction to
You just get to the knockout, bro. He's watching.
There was a lot of clinching.
Yeah,
right
the
after.
whole fight
there it is.
was.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, but that's where
I
his
hurt my
his
leg.
eyes start looking. My body.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bro, my man took a nap in the middle of the fall.
Yeah, he was tired. He was tired, bro.
He said, "Bro, I'm out. I'm going to
He
sleep."
was tired. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
on another note,
It's
he
not
should just
for everybody.
stick to his.
That was the. That should be the first. Damn, that's crazy, bro.
That moment he realized he should
Height
have said,
matters.
"I'm done."
Height matters.
It
Yeah,
did, bro.
yeah, absolutely.
That wasn't. I told you that wasn't a fair fight to begin with.
He thought it was fair.
Jake
I mean, we
Paul-
all thought he was going to
Jake
knock
Paul's
him
what,
out.
like 6'1"?
I don't know if he's that much taller. I heard he was only 2 inches taller. I thought he's like. I think if Nate Robbins is 5'7" and he's like 5'9". Hold on.
He should not be playing that.
And Nate was a football player, so he got that tough mentality anyway.
All right, Jake Paul's height is 6. Oh no! I stand corrected. 6'1". 6'1". And Nate Robinson's 5'9". He's my
And
size.
what's the reach difference?
I don't got all that much.
Who won the?
information.
Hold on, let me look.
There's a
at
pretty
it.
big reach
Tyson
difference.
fight. Who won that?
The Tyson fight, it was a draw, but that shit was
Tyson won.
but it was premeditated. We know he won. If he wanted to knock Roy Jones out, it would have
Yeah,
happened.
it was a money fight. It was just one.
Every time they tangled,
They fought for charity.
3 hits.
Yeah.
Power hits.
Power hits.
Power
exactly.
heads.
He was going straight for the body, but there he had every opportunity to go right for his head.
I feel like Mike Tyson could fight a fucking 20-year-old right now in the ring and be good.
I
I'm
can't-
sorry.
I
He
can't
looked
argue
good,
that.
bro. He looked great.
I mean, he looked gassed a couple rounds.
No, he looked
Bro,
like.
by the 4th round, he was like out of it.
No, I feel like Roy Jones looked gassed. He looked gassed. He looked like
But
he
he
didn't know.
still kept up his speed throughout
Oh,
the fight,
no.
though.
But at the end of the day, what does Mike Tyson do? Does Mike Tyson go the distance, or does Mike Tyson knock somebody the fuck
Yeah,
out
he
in the
hits hard,
first
man.
before the 5th round? You know what I mean? That's the way you got to think
Goes
about
All
it.
right. But even
Jones
if,
is a technical fighter too, right?
Yeah. Jones is,
You saw those
he's a lot of
punches he was
defensive. You know what I
he's a
mean?
little more defensive.
he was throwing those jumpy punches like a fucking
Yeah.
kangaroo.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
jump it back.
He
Oh,
tries
shit.
to
Don't
fish
hit
you
me,
out,
motherfucker.
right?
Don't hit
Yeah,
me.
he hits you and jumped away.
Jumped away.
I mean, essentially, at the end of the day, we all kind of got played because
Yeah.
they knew what it was going into it, and we're like, oh, well, we had that little bit of hope. We're like, oh yeah, Mike Tyson's gonna turn up, Roy Jones gonna turn up. And they did, but it wasn't to the degree of trying to really win the fight. You know what I mean?
It was still entertaining, though.
I would definitely watch another fight from either of those guys.
And especially I didn't pay to watch it. so-
And they did it for charity, so fuck it. So people, they just
For the kids, for the kids.
We could buy another tiger.
$60
The
million.
gods of war calling me. They're calling me.
That's a whole lot of water for kids in Africa, bro. $60 million.
That's a lot of What about
Alright,
the
here
what
we
about
go.
the kids in Flint, Michigan, bro?
We'll save that for another
We getting
podcast.
political
Yeah.
now,
Oh,
huh?
I was
let's
about to
save that
say-
for. I need to get my
We gotta
facts
worry
straight.
about what we got going on here before we worry about it.
Normal activity.
Wrong.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that?
That's Donald Trump, bro.
Oh, Donald Trump. He is Donald Trump, bro.
Trey's Donald Trump.
When Trey drinks, he becomes Donald Trump.
Ooh, I can't. I cannot argue that statement.
Yeah, he is Donald Trump when he's drunk.
It's okay.
Trey was arguing with me saying that Triple H is the greatest heel to exist of all time. And I said, there's a guy named Ric Flair. And he said, nope. And he said, nope. That's exactly what he did. Wrong.
Okay. I don't know, man. I would think.
Who was that group? It was Triple H, Batista, and somebody else.
Evolution.
Yeah, they were
Randy Orton.
Yeah, when they all came out.
Yeah. I stopped kind of watching.
I stopped watching, but I caught up, later on.
Yeah, I like
The Rock. Hands down. The best entertainer of all time. Listen, he may not have been the best worker, but I'll tell you one thing. He can entertain the fucking crowd. Everybody's paying attention. When The Rock speaks, everybody shuts the fuck up. You know what I mean? That's my personal favorite. Stone Cold is the only comparable person in my personal opinion.
Going, what?
Bro,
What?
Stone Cold.
He did.
What?
Drank beer, put the middle finger up, cursed the fuck out of his boss.
Yo,
It
my
was
man
great.
rode a Zamboni on, try to get weird.
Oh, in the beer truck.
Yeah.
Literally just watched that too.
Yo,
Bro, he
That's
sprayed
about the
beer
time I'm at.
all over. Bro,
It
that
was
was
Stone Cold's world or nothing.
That's true. That's true.
Hell yeah.
And that's
Hell
the
yeah.
bottom line.
But you got to, but put it this way, all right. Without The Rock, Stone Cold would have not had.
Oh,
Well, hold
Conspiracy
hold
theories.
No.
Let's
It's
hear
not a
them
conspiracy
out. Let's hear them
theory.
out.
It's not it's facts. Stone Cold's greatest rival, besides Vince McMahon, wrestling wise, was The Rock. That's hands down. Nobody can argue that. Without The Rock's cockiness and thinking he's the shit and $500 shirt and then the Stone Cold saying I don't give a fuck about your $500 shirt. I just want my motherfucking Steve Weiser. Come on, man.
I'm gonna say the best villain towards Stone Cold was Vince McMahon himself. That was a pretty good rivalry.
I disagreed with that. I agreed with that statement. But wrestling wise, you can't just.
Favorite
How long
tag
can you
fighter.
thrive?
Vince came out with the shirt off and walking down the
Bro,
road.
that's what made the Attitude Era.
It is. But Vince came out with the shirt off, and then whatever the little white beard, whatever the fuck he had on, and then what happened? He got in the ring and got stomped out. So that shit don't count. It don't count. You know what I mean?
Stone Cold treated Vince McMahon like 2020 treated us. Like shit.
Yeah, man.
That was
Dude, you
Stone
know,
Cold.
you know what's crazy? I don't know if y'all knew this. You know that Vince McMahon treats all his employees as independent contractors. None of them are employees. They are not employees. They're all independent contractors.
No, but it probably is a liability thing though.
But
because technically you could get injured, and if
Liability.
That's
liability.
true.
So now you're signing up for it. We'll support you, but you're on your own.
But at the same time, there should be some kind of health insurance for these guys, like regular health insurance. These guys pay for their own hotels everywhere they go. They pay for their own car rentals, and as a job, this Vince McMahon's making so much money off these guys. How can you not have enough money to make them employees? You know what I mean? And then you know what's really fucked up though? These employees are trying to go on Twitch and they're trying to make money talking on Twitch. There's a girl who got banned for having an OnlyFans that works for the WWE. She was a great manager. She got fucking released from the WWE.
I'm sorry.
Because of that.
What's
Because she's making money out of the WWE.
Probably making more money too.
Oh, but for the most part, OnlyFans is OnlyFans is where you're gonna find a few girls you went to high school with that you haven't heard from in a while. OnlyFans, it's basically any girl could go on there, put some nudes, put some whatever they want to do on there, and then sell it to people for a subscription.
Sometimes they play the banjo naked. Normal shit.
How would you know?
I don't know.
I will leave it at that.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's an assumption.
Check his history.
But
Check
at the
the
same
webpage.
time, though, like she's making her money off of WWE's sponsorship, basically. So I mean, are they going to align themselves with that type of thinking?
No, I
Are
totally
you
respect
kidding me?
where you're coming from, but that's not what I was trying to get to. Is she wasn't posing nude? It's mostly used for that, but she was using it as a platform, I guess, to communicate with her fans or whatever the case is. She wasn't using it like other people use it as
So
money
wait,
and all that.
So wait,
So
can
it's
you
not. It's not just having an OnlyFans. It's making money outside of the WWE. Then he wants to treat them like employees.
I mean, UFC has kind of the same problem too. But
Yeah, well, that's another issue
Wait,
too.
so can you not do like what is that website where you can like make videos for people like and make money off it like the Undertaker does? What is it called? Cameo.
Yes,
So-
that's another one that would be a problem if Vince McMahon
So
found
that's
that out.
why
So the
Undertaker
Undertaker's
does
on
now.
there. He's good because he's the Undertaker, but not everybody's the Undertaker. The Undertaker held that company on his back for since before I was born, bro.
Yeah. Long
But
time.
like, how long does that apply to someone? Like, for instance, the Undertaker, he's not wrestling no more, right? So
He just recently retired, but you have to think about it. There's certain people who get special treatment in the WWE, so you could do whatever you want to do as long as you're putting asses in seats. Like Shawn Michaels could do whatever he wanted to do. He could say who he wanted to work with, who he wants to pass the title to because of the caliber that he was performing when he was in the ring. Not everybody has that same call, but it still makes it unfair.
So they get to pick their squads and everything, essentially.
During that era, yeah, it was Shawn Michaels, it was Scott Hall, Triple H, and Kevin Nash.
yeah, what were they called again?
The Click.
The Click.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody fucking with Click.
Yeah.
I don't know if wrestlers today can really get away with that because I feel like they're all really disposable now.
Exactly. There's no superstars.
No.
It's a novella. You gotta have the gift of gab.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Who's
Yeah,
I don't. But I
people-
think is I can't really say that because when I watch wrestling, I knew who the superstars were. So I don't know if a kid who is my age now watching wrestling can say, "Oh, these are the particular superstars." Like I could back then.
Roman Reigns.
it's a generational thing, though. At the end of the day, you know that generation is going to make their superstars.
But yeah, you're right. But literally, they are avoiding having like a Stone Cold or a Rock, somebody who literally takes over the whole company. So instead, they have a bunch of people which they pass the title to. Like Stone
Right.
Cold will hold the belt for like a year or something.
But they can change the storyline.
Yes.
Right.
Nowadays, it's like, all right, this guy has the belt for 2 months, and then he
No
drops it to this
icons.
guy for a month, and then that guy drops it to this guy. So basically, nobody has that level where they feel like
Legacy.
they're right up there and they're way
Cold,
over
yeah.
everybody else.
That's
You know what I mean?
bullshit. That's
got
some
another
It is
fun
bullshit,
fact.
but it's smart, and Vince McMahon's.
Here's
you know
a
what I mean,
fun fact
defense.
for y'all. Did y'all know that Vince McMahon he's got a hangar in the desert, and he still owns every single WrestleMania stage he ever built. He still has them.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Like,
stage?
like the props and
all
shit?
all the stages, they're in a hangar in the desert.
Why do you
somewhere.
think that? You
I
know
know,
why?
'cause I-
Because when he's
I met one of
fucking
the welders.
when he's fucking 99 years old and he's fucking about to go for his that freezing treatment that keeps you alive forever,
That Walt Disney
he could
shit.
pass it down to his children or his grandchildren.
Yo,
And when the fucking apocalypse hit, all these people are gonna come around that are rich and be like, "Oh, you got that? Well, I'll give you fucking a million pieces of gold for that shit."
yo, Big Mike, pull out your phone.
That's
I want you to look
on the
up the
next
Undertaker.
episode of that's
I want
crazy.
you to look
yo.
up Vince McMahon talking about the Undertaker. That's on YouTube.
That's
And
some
I want
real
you to
shit,
look
that
at Vince
cryogenic
McMahon's face
shit.
and tell me he don't look like a zombie, bro. He looks scary, bro. His eyes are like fucking like penciled in like this, and they're stuck like that, and he looks like he's got lipstick on, bro. He looks like a
Who's the owner
zombie.
of Tesla?
Yeah,
That's
look at him.
that's steroids, bro.
Steroids gives you pointy eyebrows.
Elon Musk.
Elon
What's the name of his
What the
son?
fuck? What are you talking about, Elon Musk?
Elon, he just had a son. He named his son like Circle X Pi 2-3. He's got like an alien name.
He has an alien name. Search it up.
That's because Elon Musk is an alien. Where do you think we get all this fucking technology from? That's not a normal human being. I'm sorry.
He already flew to outer space
Anunnaki.
Did he really?
on his own. Yeah,
For real?
he built a rocket ship and he made it to the moon.
And that's not a conspiracy. Like that's like facts. Like he actually like got in a fucking thing and talked to people about going outer space.
Yeah, like why the fuck? I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That wasn't
bro.
something like well known. I
See,
mean,
this is
sure,
why Maruch gotta
obviously
come up.
you
Y'all
know
talk
it.
to me
Some
about
people know it.
I believe it though.
Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
me too.
So they basically, I guess he was able to privatize a rocket ship to go to outer space, and he built it, and they flew it like a couple months ago.
But he went personally.
No, he had like astronauts, like he got
No, I know
astronauts.
that.
SpaceX,
Yeah, no,
SpaceX.
Yeah, it's a private space.
Yeah, everybody knows about that.
I
I
thought-
thought you
I
were
thought-
doing breaking news.
No,
Elon Musk
no.
goes to space.
Imagine Elon Musk.
Nah, but his had already built something to go to outer space.
Well,
it
he-
took the world how many years? And he did it in what, like 40?
He did say by, I want to say he said by 2030 he's gonna have people on their way to Mars.
Yes, he did.
Dude, there's a
If
website
not
you
already,
could sign
bro.
up. There's a website where you could. It's Project Mars or something like that. You could sign up to live on Mars. They want to do like a reality show, but it's for real. Like you just sign up and you're gonna live on Mars for the rest of your life. So you're gonna give up your whole life over here to stay over there, and they're gonna document everything you do. And they, obviously they have to pay you well. I
Fuck
don't know
that.
what money equivalates to in Mars, but
I don't think you're coming back.
No.
I don't think
that's what
tree
it is.
grows
You stay
up
over there.
on
You stay
Mars.
over there, bro.
We
I
don't
I
go
feel
on
like
Mars.
this is fucking crazy. I honestly I don't even believe in space. Period. Just
Why
wanna
is
know
that?
If
So
you
you think
believe
you believe in the Matrix?
in
So what the hell you believe
in a way. What my theory is,
This shit
okay,
is
is
risky,
everything
yo.
that I've looked up is saying when you go to space, there's nothing that can really stop the amount of radiation that can penetrate you. So like going to the moon, going to Mars, everything like that, we don't have the technology to really stop that radiation from killing somebody. So all these theories of going to space and doing this other stuff, they still haven't proven that we can break that barrier of radiation that I've looked up. I might be wrong. See, during this podcast, that's the greatest thing, is it's all opinionated, and I could be fucking making shit up as I speak.
But what kind of proof are you looking for?
Radiation from the sun you're talking about?
I
You
mean,
have to state what kind of proof you physically
Like
need
from the
or
planet.
have to see that would convince you otherwise. Because the only thing somebody can give you is word of mouth. At the end of the day.
I would believe it
From the
when
light.
if I heard from reliable
Oh yeah, you're right.
reliable sources.
What's a reliable source?
Ask Jeeves.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
Yeah, let's go back to the 90s.
Ooh, man.
Well, fuck it. Let's say we all did go to Mars. What y'all bringing? You got 5 items to bring.
Mad
That's it.
bud, yo. Mad
I'm-
bud. I'm smoking mad weed and I'm just walking around doing
Right,
whatever,
right.
do whatever the fuck I'm gonna do on Mars. I
Right.
don't know what
If
that's
I can
gonna
go to
be.
Alright,
if I can go to Mars, I'm smoking because I don't got work the next
Yeah,
day.
give me some bud and a
Facts.
PlayStation, I'm good.
PlayStation. What kind of connection you
What kind of
get?
internet you
Right.
got?
Right.
Got that Wi-Fi.
You got that Mars Wi-Fi,
I mean,
bro.
the internet is run through satellite, so you probably can.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Maybe.
But how do you know you can make fire on Mars?
That's true.
My guy goes on PlayStation once every 5 days, but yeah, he needs to bring a PlayStation with him.
Oh, hold up! Look who's talking over here, Mister.
shit.
Let me play PlayStation for 2 weeks straight, and then not get on for 5 months, and then come back like, yo, what's up,
Bruh.
When I wasn't in school, I was on every day.
All right. I don't know 'cause
He
I
needs
wasn't
his
on.
vacation,
So.
I gotta study, buddy.
What would I?
Nah, yo, Trey was on there playing some Civilization game where he was the king of Rome or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Nah.
Rise
Bro.
of Empires.
Marucci was playing Monopoly earlier.
Bro,
That's
wow.
it.
Hey,
Hey,
there's
nothing
Hold
wrong
up,
with
hold up.
Monopoly. What's wrong with
Oh,
Monopoly?
but something wrong with civilization.
Hold up. For all the fellas that got
Oh,
wifeys, I had to
shit.
buy some points.
That was a
today.
good one.
I had to get some points.
That was a good one.
She whooped my ass. She bought Boardwalk.
You
on
didn't
the
stay.
first-
You didn't stay.
What are you bringing?
I-
Today? Let's see what T's bringing. He's bringing.
T's been playing 2K21, trying to grind as my player. That's what he's been doing.
I kind of want a PlayStation there.
The grind is real.
I don't know what I'll bring. I don't think just something to survive. Maybe food, water.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be good.
food you bring? Right, you got no stove, bro.
Oh, true. I don't even know if I could cook.
Yeah,
there.
but I mean, if we're going to Mars, we
probably
gotta.
be eating MREs for the rest of my life.
Ooh,
What's that? What's MRE?
Nah, it's
the army.
Army
like
food.
like that. Yeah, like that package
Just
shit you
add
can have for like
alcohol,
3
yeah,
years or
rations.
some shit.
Add a little water. You got filet mignon.
Nah,
and
I'll
shit.
probably just
imagine.
I'll probably just decline though. You gotta go to Mars.
Yeah.
Sir, you don't have a choice.
Damn, T, you gonna leave us on Mars and you're not even gonna come with us? That's fucked up.
Nah.
I'm upset at that.
Nah, we going to Mars. She's coming to Mars.
I would like to go
We
just to
need-
see
we-
how they
we-
communicate.
They're gonna
That
give him the
shit's fucking-
treatment.
I mean, not gonna lie.
Find out these motherfuckers speak Spanish.
Nah, they're gonna give. We're gonna give T the treatment I got when I didn't want to go on fucking Nitro. All right, just walk us up to the rocket, T. Come on,
No,
T.
no. So this is what happened. All right. So me and this dude Matt, that me and Big Mike were friends with. All right. So me and Matt knew we were going on Nitro, and Mike's like, "No, I don't want to go on Nitro." So we're waiting in line. Matt's in front of him. Big Mike's in the middle. I'm behind. All right, cool. Big Mike thinks he's gonna pass through the ride while we go on. Gates open. Matt sits down. Big Mike looks over to try to escape. I sit down, and we both put our hands over Big Mike and push him down and sit down. Push his little belt thing on. And he looks at us, gives us his fucking craziest look, like, you motherfuckers. He didn't want to make a scene because he would have looked like a bitch on Nitro, you know what I mean? What were we, like fucking 18 or maybe younger, maybe 17, but still, you know what I mean?
Long tees and shit.
Oh, you know that. You know that. And then, he went on that ride. I never seen anybody more fucking frightened out of their life to be on a roller coaster than that.
I bet you when he got off, he was like, "Hey, whoa, let's do that shit again."
No, he was sick, bro. He was mad. He said, "I'd never go on that shit again," because he don't like it because the shit Nitro it does a little push up on your waist, but it doesn't put any support over your shoulders because it doesn't go upside down. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily.
Big Mike got that one click. He's like, hold up, click it again.
Yeah.
But I love that first drop though on Nitro.
Oh, the first drop is the best. You ever been in the front row?
Oh,
in the
yeah.
first drop? Like sometimes they say the back is better. I like both sides, but on Nitro you gotta be in the front row. You open your mouth, bro, like you're like literally you're gonna be spitting on people behind you. But like, close your mouth if you're in the front row.
You guys ever been on the ground on 2 feet? It's fucking lovely.
What do you mean? I mean, fuck roller coasters.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So
Yes.
My mind was like on a loop,
No,
bro.
you used to go on all the roller coasters with me when we were young.
What's so
bro.
frightening about it?
It's Nitro. It's because it's like I said. There's no support right here, right? That's the reason that you don't like it.
Or just the safety, like, yo, this is a
I
mechanical ride.
was always a fan of like Medusa. And then whatever bizarre.
Because you got this shit strapped
Yeah,
over.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you
I
got
want-
hold for your life right there.
Or like I even like the old Batman, even though it felt like that shit was gonna fucking break at any point.
It's still going
So
around
pretty
to this
much,
day,
Big
bro.
Mike only likes a roller coaster if he has something he can hold on to.
That's right.
I mean, you can hold on the Nitro,
Hold
but you're
on.
holding on at your waist. Which,
Hold on to me.
I mean, I
That's
don't
my
know.
new song, new single coming out
Yeah,
next
you might
week.
want to postpone that and work on that.
It might be.
Yeah.
Marucci, featuring
So who's been on
Sehoyo.
King the Ka?
Oh,
I hate King the God.
Sehoyo.
Not me.
Wait, Jay, you never been on King the
Nah,
God?
I'm scared of that shit.
Yeah.
Yo, I would put it to you this way. If you've never been on King the God, T, you enjoy going on T, like
Yeah,
King
I've
the
rode it
God?
like 4 times.
So if we go to Great Adventure right now, you'll go on that.
Yeah, definitely.
So the thing that fucks me up, T, is like I like a roller coaster. I know what's gonna happen, whatever. With King the Ka is that takeoff. That takeoff is like 3, 2, and sometimes they'll fuck with you. They'll be like 5, 4, and then they'll take off.
Announcer be an asshole.
That shit broke my stomach. Like you ever do like a front flip in the pool,
Yup.
and you get that little butterfly in your stomach. You know what I mean? Now imagine not being able to control that shit.
Yep.
Then you can't breathe. I don't know if it's just me.
Oh, yeah.
I can't breathe, bro. Like I'm going up the shit. I'm like,
That's like I scream.
and then I'm like, it's about till I'm like halfway up is when I can breathe again.
Yeah.
I don't like not
So-
being in control of my own breathing, bro.
It goes so fast. By the time you blink, you're already at the halfway mark.
Exactly.
Nah, it's cool. It's crazy though. When you get up there and you see how high you are, it's just like wow.
Dude, oh yeah, the view up there is
It's crazy. It's crazy.
The
It's like
view
a
up
bird
there-
eyes view in Assassin's Creed. Like you see everything.
So it's cool. Sometimes if the ride is heavy enough, like if you got some heavy fellas, it'll go up and then it'll come back down and reshoot you.
That's
Oh,
wild.
I've
Like
seen
you'll
that.
go up and then it'll be like, oh, and then just come back because the kinetic energy is not.
I forget
Wild.
who it was. I knew somebody that actually that happened to. That for me is a no-no because then I got to go through the worst part of that ride 2
Going
times.
back down and then having to shoot back up.
You know what the craziest part about that is, bro? The first time I've ever been on it. You met my boy Big J. You know Big J.
Yeah.
So Big J used to work at Six Flags. So, you know, he takes me to the park, gets me in for free. And he's like, yo, let's go on King the Ka. I've never been on it. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'll go on anything. I'm not scared. I'll do it. You need some mental preparation, so I want to wait on the line so I can, you know,
You
look
said
at
that.
Yeah. I want to look at the. I didn't say it, but I'm thinking it. So I'm like, all right, I want to wait in line, process it. I'll look at it. Okay, cool. We walk up to the ride, go near the exit. He talks to his boy, opens up the gate. We're the next one on.
Oh, bro.
That's fucked.
I've never been on this ride in my life. But
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
the next one on. So now all that processing that I was thinking about
Couldn't
doing,
assess
that's
the
all
situation.
gone. It's
Yeah.
all gone processing. Now it's
Yeah.
about how fucking scared I am.
That's
Bro.
that shit in 2 minutes.
He's knocking on fear's door like, you're.
Oh yeah, bro. I was shitting my pants,
Yup.
bro. I did it and I was proud of myself, but I was like one of those like, yeah, I'm never doing that again.
You know
I
that
probably went
ball
on 2 more
ride?
times.
Where you sit down, there's like 4 rows, and it goes like this, spins, and they got
spaceship one where it spins upside
Oh,
down.
they used that. Yeah, they got rid of the spaceship one. I like the spaceship one, but I know the one you're talking about with right by the boardwalk area,
Yeah,
and the shit just spinning,
Yup.
and then it'll hold you upside down sometimes while it's fixing everything. Yeah,
Yup.
don't go on that nowadays. I went on that this past summer with Andre, and my shit like. I don't know if maybe because I gained weight over the past few years, but when I'm like upside down, bro, I hear this thing clicking like, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing's about to break. I'm about to fall to my
That's
death.
my biggest issue, though. My biggest issue with roller coasters is I'm a big guy. So, like, when I do that click thing, it's either I can't breathe or it's like, oh, I feel like that shit can slip me out. Somehow, some way, I'm going to fucking morph into a little fucking ball.
Like, hold up, Marucci's got 3 clicks. I got 1. Hold up, hit me with another.